Konnichiwa, this is the Shogunstein, and this is my Garmin. Best watch I've ever owned. Bought it a few years ago during the beginning of the pandemical when I picked up my GoRuck, and I've been using it ever since, whether it be for rucks, walks, hikes, runs, when I'm doing my 16-minute mile, whether I'm at the gym, doing my DDP yoga with Diamond Dallas, or doing the Mark Wahlberg workouts over at the F45. I love this watch. It does everything. And that's one of the issues that I always had early on. I've had a number of activity trackers, smarty watches over the years, and they were all good, but they were always like one feature short of doing everything that I needed it to do. Remember the first sports one that I had didn't have a digital display, did everything else, but there was no digital displays. You had to keep tapping it. And then there were ones that were waterproof, ones that weren't waterproof, ones that had heart rate monitor, ones that didn't have heart rate monitor. They were always one feature short of doing everything. But this Garmin does everything. This is the best watch I've ever owned. To me, this is the gold medal of watches. This is the gold standard that I compare all other watches to. And since I've bought this, again, this is several years ago already at the beginning of the pandemical, I haven't used any other watch. Now, I've been sent some other watches to try out. They haven't been bad, but nothing has topped this watch yet. So I strongly, strongly recommend this Garmin. It works for everything. Now, with that said, Amazon Vine has sent us a number of electronics to try out, including some activity trackers, smart watches, and some that we had before we picked up the Garmin, and some that we've tried since the Garmin. And the latest is, and again, I'm not sure if this is I's or 2's, so it's EIG2S or EIGIIS, not sure. We get a lot of electronics that come out of the special economic zones in China. So in the 70s, when Deng Xiaoping took over the People's Republic of China after Mao died and the Cultural Revolution ended, he started the 4 modernizations that modernized China. And that included the special economic zones, SEZs, that were set up close to Hong Kong where they allowed limited capitalism. So it's in one of these special economic zones that a lot of electronics are produced, and a lot of the electronics they send us to review here for Amazon Vine come from these special economic zones in China. Now, one of the things, when I mentioned this brand, a lot of times the brand seems irrelevant because I'll see the same item, the same electronic under like 4 or 5 different names. So I don't really know what the brand is and how that works, how they have the same watch or the same, CD player or whatever, the same headphone, and it's under like 5 different names. So this is under EIG2S or IIS, and this is the KE3 watch, which on the description, and again, we got this from Amazon Vine, so just to full disclosure, to be transparent, this was kind of advertised as a smarty watch, military style watch, activity tracker. So it says it's going to do a lot of things, but right away I noticed in the instructions, no swimming, no diving, no shower. So we're going to be limited in our water activities. Now it has some water resistance, but again, this is a limitation, not being able to do those things. A lot of people went to those cold baths now in the morning. Can't wear this watch in there. Again, no swimming, no diving, no shower. Now, the other thing I'm interested in with a lot of the electronics, even stuff that I didn't think needed it, a lot of these electronics that they've sent us from these questionable, when I mean questionable, we know Garmin, we know Fitbit. I don't know who this is. And again, I don't know when they have the same watch or the same earbud on the 4 different companies. I don't know what the company really is. But a lot of times these products ask for a lot of information from my phone, and it just doesn't seem to fit with the product. Do you need all that information to tell me how many steps I took or how many, how long it took me to run a mile? And the other thing is, sometimes they ask you to install an app, and the app is a little sketchy, little, as the kids would say, sus. Don't the kids say sus, little Shogunstein? He's not answering. That's sus. So again, I don't really have an issue putting a Garmin app on my phone, but I'm not sure about some of these other, companies that I don't know. So one thing I tell you, in addition to it being limited due to the not being waterproof for swimming or to shower, it is a little heavier. It's not super heavy, but it's certainly not as light as the Garmin. So again, if I'm going to wear this as an activity tracker as opposed to just a day-to-day watch, I'd want it a little lighter. Now, one thing I know it does have, it has some sort of like flashlight. So that's interesting. It has a little light. But maybe that's adding to why it's heavy. So what else does it do here? Well, it tells time. That's pretty good. A lot of times, it's like a lot of phones, do they call? A lot of watches, do they tell time? We got steps, distances, calories, sleep. Who needs sleep? That's bare naked ladies. Multi-sports modes, timer, find the phone, multilingual, heart rate, calendar, breathing training. Sedentary reminder, so you're sitting around too long. The Bluetooth calling, so that's good. What about focus? Does that focus? Since can't stay in focus here. What else do we have here? We have information push. We have music, weather, blood pressure for the ladies, menstrual cycle, a calculator, remote photography, drinking water reminder. Out here in Arizona, we could use that. And payment function. I don't know about that. And blood oxygen. So it does a lot. Has a lot of features. We got a speaker. We got a sensor. We got a microphone. So we know about microphones. So again, I don't know. How much information, when they're listening to you. I watched the Black Mirror. Maybe I got to go back to an old Timex or something. We got operation methods. And of course, I saw in here, yes, download some kind of app that I never heard of. FitCloud Pro. I don't know what FitCloud Pro is, but again, I'm wondering how much information they're going to ask for. Anyway, that watch looks nice. Certainly looks nice. And a little heavy. Band seems good quality. So, we'll test it out. I'll bring it over to F45, see how it does in a Wahlberg workout. Bring it to my side hustle. See how it counts the steps. And let's know what we think. Is it going to beat the Garmin? I don't know. Again, that's a high standard to beat. But we're going to see how the EIGIIS or EIGIIS, I don't know if that's how it says, but it is the KE3 watch, military style watch. Let's see if they tell us anything else in the back of the box. Important, smart, sports watch. Okay, there we go. Battery, CPU, color screen. Well, we'll check it out. We'll let you know what we think. This is the Shogunstein out.